Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Okay, shall we do it? Let's take a look. 9.1. I've increased. So let's take a look here. Haven't had insulin. That could be a good reason why. So let's quickly do that, shall we? All right, let's double check first of all. With the pump, you're able to quickly go up to this little history. And if we open it up, go to history and pull up daily history. Nope. Haven't done anything. So I need to do the carb count. You see, even I forget about carb counts. So let's go back to bolus. Click bolus and carbs. I'm going to sit there and type in 52 carbs. Not 63. Oops. Oh, just excuse me for a sec here. It's hard to do this. And then if we press deliver bolus, it's giving me 7.4. I should have done that earlier. But it shows we can even make mistakes. Still being the same, 40 and 60, nothing below, and number is still 11.9. So we'll have to work on that. Today, I want to discuss you are what you eat. I mentioned this in the last video, so now we get the promo. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay. In the 70s, a saying came out, and it was, you are what you eat. Basically, if you eat junk food all the time, you're not going to have energy. You're going to be lackluster. And you know what? It's true. And as diabetics, we see this so much more. We constantly take a look at what we eat. We want to know what the carb count is, so that we can give insulin to cover. Now, if you're able to and get up and are able to go for a walk, get the exercise, utilize the sugars, great. Some of us, for whatever reason, aren't able to do that. So we have to use a little bit more insulin. But exercise will help your body utilize the insulin. That's why a lot of people who don't exercise all the time exercise and then find, oh, I've gone low. Now, the foods we eat give us sugar. no matter what. People are saying, oh, I'm having a carb-free diet. Well, no, you're not. You're counting down your carbs, but you're still going to get carbs from fruits, vegetables, and saying, oh, yes, I just feel terrible when I have carbs. Well, no, I can't really totally believe that. Your brain, this guy up here, needs carbs in order to live. Now, monitoring how many carbs you have is probably a good idea. In most cases, the last time I spoke with a dietitian, she recommended low carbs or anything below 30. So if you're able to get them down, that's great. You're still having carbs. And if you're eating these carbs, you can just count the carbs, according to my diabetic nurse. If you utilize carbs and that's super, but if you're eating a lot of processed foods, you don't know what carbs you truly are eating. They call them hidden sugars for a reason. You eat too much of them, yes, you're going to gain weight. And you don't want to gain weight. Once I sort of understood how many different aspects of diabetes care and how everything is intertwined. It was before, yeah, you can have whatever you want, whenever you want, just count the carbs and you'll be fine. Well, yeah, no. You still don't want to overload your system with extra carbs. You're going to end up having spikes, and that's what we don't want. Hence, this could technically call a spike. I should have given the insulin back here. I didn't. So, my body has excess sugar. I'm still within range, so this is a good number. Yay. Fruits and vegetables, all natural diet works wonders. Meats, yeah, they still have a place unless you replace the proteins that are lost with something else. Protein, whether it be a protein powder, somehow you need to get the protein. And people will say, oh, I'm turning vegetarian. But they don't get protein from any other source. So you end up not doing so well. So years ago, they came up with the I personally call it the tri-plate. You have an area for vegetables. You have an area for your meats or whatever protein, tofu, whatever their other protein sources you have, and for your salads. It's a sensible way to diet. Years ago, and I can remember when I first sort of we're taught, not only for diabetes, but in school, the best thing you should do is eat the food pyramid. Well, that's not totally true. Some people believe in intermittent fasting. From what I've understood, it's not the greatest for type 1 diabetics. We want to keep our sugars pretty well stable throughout the day. And just having nothing to eat and then loading up with a heavy meal or a meal will increase your blood sugars. Personally, smaller meals throughout the day is probably your best bet. Miraculous thinking. Now, it's important to realize with these insulin pumps, you can miss a meal and not worry about it. When I was still high school, I remember going and asking my housemaster if I could miss a meal that I wasn't interested in eating. That was probably a stupid thing on my point. But with this, that was a stupid because I inject the insulin already for the day into my body. The insulin was there trying to do its job. And if there's no sugar there, you're gonna... I think I did have a low, but it wasn't a bad low. With the pump, if you decide not to eat, you don't have to bolus. Your basal rates hopefully are set at an amount where you can cover your food. I think as North Americans, we don't do great with our diets. However, smaller food can work better for you. Smaller amounts, smaller foods. Yes, I'll only have a small raspberry. It won't do anything. That's not what I meant. Smaller portions, but equally eating more frequently throughout the day. So you could have breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, bedtime snack. And they could all be sort of the same amount of food. They find that works better. Cutting back your carbs to maybe 30 grams per meal, that may also help. Because remember, you don't want the spikes. You want to be able to eat, raise your blood sugar slightly, but you don't want to go over 10.0. Now, for the Americans, 10.0 millimoles equals 180. 2 hours after you eat, you shouldn't be over that. You should be coming back down. Remember the substances you're eating. Leafy green vegetables. Remember that vegetables that are rich in color are going to have higher carbs. Things like carrots versus broccoli. Carrots, because of the rich color, contain more carbs. and thus could raise your blood sugars. Get yourself a small calorie counter book that you can take with you. Make sure that you utilize apps on your phone which will be able to give you your carb information. Utilize these technologies, come up with a better system, and if you start limiting your meals, make sure you limit your insulin too. As diabetics, what we eat, carbs, insulin, exercise, all help in giving us better blood numbers. Because remember, you are what you eat. Have a great day. We'll talk again soon. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.